Welcome back. It is Thursday, July 20th, and the MLB, our two favorite picks are on the way, including two Dinger Thursday plays coming your guys' way. First off, it's Austin, joined by Logan. Let's recap yesterday. First off, let's talk about our Dinger plays, because on Tuesday, we smacked our two Dingers, and then on Wednesday, we hit once again with Austin Riley coming through and Chaz McCormick coming through. I saw a ton of tickets from you guys on Twitter. Hopefully, you guys all tailed out there. And as promised, we said, if either one of them hit, we didn't expect both of them to get it done. Either one hit, we would give away $100 to one random person that was subscribed to the channel and also commented down below. I'll put up the comment on the screen. I'm definitely going to butcher their name because it's Daring Gonzalez 7650. So I'm going to respond back to that comment, but if you want to DM us and show us how we can pay you $100, we appreciate all your love and support. Ended up being an all-star, and it's actually his comment ended up being super positive. So we love to see that. Now, on the bittersweet side, we got to recap our regular picks, and we sucked once again. We went 1-4. Like, the Dingers are I don't know how we're able to hit home run plays, which are as fluky as they come, Logan. And yet we can't seem to buy a win. We lose in comical fashion. I know you're down bad after the Blue Jays won. The Rays gave you the worst lineup possible. Verlander came through, but like we know we've sucked. We can't make any more excuses. We just have been absolutely terrible. But hopefully today's bounce back day. Only 2 picks is a short slate. Hopefully these 2 picks can be 2-0. And we can kind of build that into a little bit of momentum. And hopefully we can cash our 2 Dinger Thursday plays, if you will. You can play them whatever book. But one book that is actually really good at playing that and that has one of the best odds for home runs is going to be WynnBet. And if you want to sign up for WynnBet, you certainly can take advantage of the details all down below in the description. But you can bet $20, get $100 in bet credits. WynnBet, in my opinion, normally has the best odds for home runs. Only I can't use them because it's not in my state. But if it is in your states, in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Massachusetts, Tennessee, it has a ton of different states. So check out the top link in the description. You see exactly how you can sign up and get those deposit matches and stuff like that and that bet credits. But Logan, it's Dinger Thursday time, and I'm going to lead it off, and then we'll go to you and your first pick, and I'm going to go to a guy that I think you're going to need a little bit of help from. His name is Jake Burger, currently plus 470 to hit a home run on FanDuel. Now, look, Burger, and normally when he gets hits, they're normally extra base hits, which is what you want to see. He did not have an extra base hit yesterday as Verlander carved up the White Sox, but still Burger hitting lefties pretty well. Jose Quintana should start for the Mets today. He is a lefty. I think he's like 7 home runs and like 50 to 60 plate appearances versus lefties, Burger that is. And I really love the value. Getting plus 470 on FanDuel, much better than a lot of different books, which are right around like plus 370. So I think Burger's going to have a big day. Hopefully he sends one into the bleachers, maybe even sends 2. I don't care how he does. He gets it done. But like I said, if you look at his hits versus extra base hits, normally a lot of hits coming his way. Also, side dinger, Matt Olson's probably hitting a homer in his first at bat. But Logan, what's your play going to be?
Yeah, the Braves guys, I think might get pitched around today, so I can't. I would like to go back to Austin Riley, and the reason I'm not running it back is because he's obviously been smoking them. They will carefully pitch Austin Riley today. I'd be surprised if they give him anything to hit. But for my Dinger Thursday play, I keep slipping with Tuesday. I'm taking Willy Adames of the Milwaukee Brewers plus 425 on Bet365, so your best value there for Willy Adames. Obviously, he faces Taijuan Walker today. Willy Adames is one of those power hitters that every now and then he goes through a scorching hot home run streak, and then he'll go through a little bit of drought. He's in a little bit of a drought right now, but I think Taijuan Walker will definitely give him something to hit. And the Nerfy is part of the little promoted parlay, Nerfy parlay on FanDuel, the Nerfy for this game. So it believes me to believe there could be a first inning home run. I'm just saying, whenever they do that, they know something. But there's also good hitting conditions today in Philadelphia. So I think Willy Adames will stand a really good chance to cash hopefully both or at least one of our Dinger plays. But for my first pick, the straight bets, which have been absolutely garbage. If you fade this one wouldn't even call you crazy. But I still have confidence in what I'm telling you. I'm telling you the White Sox plus a half on the first 5 innings run line, plus 105 odds on DraftKings, currently your best value there. Now, I'll take the first 5 run line here, plus a half, and you can see why the plus a half's my favorite bet to make, because you get all sorts of garbage stuff. And I could rant about that Blue Jays game for the next 10 minutes if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. It's just so if you watched it, but I think the plus a half is the side you want to be on, because more often than not, it's kind of, runs can be hard to come by in the first 5 innings, and you want that extra half on your side, because if they tie, we do win this bet. The White Sox, the reason I'm targeting this one is because they're facing a lefty, and that's a spot I want to take them. Trust me, they're not a good team. I don't normally want to take them, but they're facing Jose Quintana, and he makes his first start of the year. Now, what kind of start are we going to get out of Jose Quintana? I don't know. And I'm willing to bet that it's not going to be all that sharp and all that polished, because if you look at last year, and this is the only metrics that we have to go on, last year Quintana had a 2.01 ERA for St. Louis. If there's anything I've learned from the 2022 to 2023 year, it's that nothing statistically from 2022 really matters all that much, because Alek Manoah, Dylan Cease, guys like that were once upon a time aces, are not ace pitchers really in this current format of baseball. And honestly, I think that's kind of why I'm having a hard time picking baseball. It's because we were pretty dang good last year in picks, and now everything that I think I know, I don't know anymore. But I do know that the White Sox are hitting 276 against lefties in July. I do know that a trend that's been pretty consistent over the last few years is that the White Sox hit lefties. You look at the last two lefty starters that the White Sox faced, Colby Howard and Yusei Kikuchi. They won the first five outright in both of those games. And I think they could definitely win the first five outright, or even at least be tied and competitive through this one. I think they will get some hits and runs potentially up on Jose Quintana. And if he comes out and walks a few batters, not looking as polished in his first start of the year, wouldn't call that, all that surprising. Who starts for the White Sox today? It's Michael Kopech. 4.47 ERA and a 1.41 whip for Kopech. I mean, the whip and the ERA are flirting in danger territory. Do I believe he'll be good enough for us today, though? Yes. When Kopech has his command and control, he's really deadly. And the whole reason why he hasn't been the great top-tier pitcher that he thinks he can be is because he hasn't had the command and control this year. Even with his inconsistency, though, he's 64th percentile in K percentage, 65th percentile in whiff percentage. When he has those, working for him, he's a really, really good pitcher. And hopefully he can keep the ball in the yard. I mean, Kopech does give up his fair share of home runs, but I do like the way he is able to miss bats when he's pitching well. And I'm not convinced this Mets offense has magically figured it out. I tried backing them when they look absolutely pathetic. On the season, the Mets are still 23rd in runs and 29th in hits at home. Like, if you just believe what you're seeing and you believe that this is going to carry them for the next few months, go for it. But I think it's a very small sample size and a little bit fluky. I believe the White Sox can be competitive through 5 innings in this game. I'm not sure about their bullpen, so I'm not going to take them full game. But I do believe that they'll give us a shot to cover this first 5-run line. But Austin, what do you got for us today?
Hey, man, I really hope Jake Berger's helping you out. I really do. I hope he sends a couple. Yeah. Maybe he sends like a 3-run homer in the first inning. That would be electric. But for mine, I'm going to go to a later on start, but we got a lot of early games today, only a couple late ones. It's a short slate, hence why we're only doing 2 picks. But I also want to just limit the picks just because they haven't been hitting too well. But I'm going to the Mariners game, and I'm taking George Kirby under 2.5 earned runs, -110 on DraftKings. Now, personally, I play this right around -125, -130. Don't really want to lay any more juice on that. And if you are on FanDuel, one of the only books that doesn't have an earned runs prop, I would lean towards the Mariners +1.5 and the under 4.5 in a first 5 same game parlay. There's a reason the over-under sitting at 7.5. I don't see a lot of runs getting scored here. Now, a couple pivots I did consider, and we'll kind of touch on these in a little bit. I considered Mariners money line, and I considered maybe the Twins team total under 3.5, which we'll touch on in a second. Now, this is a noon start on the West Coast, right around 12:40 start time, and the game did end at midnight on the East Coast, technically 9 p.m. on the West Coast. Now, would it surprise me if the Twins, who have won 2 straight in this series, trying to win 3 of 4, number one, come out here and trot out a trash lineup, which we've seen teams do in day games, hence the Rays. And number two, maybe the bats don't show up. Maybe the bats are already on the plane home because this is the final game of their 7-game road trip post All-Star break. No, neither of those two things would surprise me. And maybe Kirby will be able to do his thing here today. Now, I wanted to take the Mariners on the money line because the Twins are a very public dog, and they have been a public dog, past 2 games. I feel like people don't really, I feel like when you're seeing Pablo Lopez on the mound, it's someone that people really want to trust for the Twins. And while I think Pablo Lopez could give up some runs, I have no confidence in the Mariners bats to get it done. I think if the Mariners do end up winning, which are about -130 on the money line, it is due to this being a lower scoring game. And if they win a high scoring game, I'll eat my humble pie and just accept it. But when you look at the Twins full game team total sitting at 3.5, it's over. The over is +100. Well, the Twins have hit that in 6 straight games post All-Star break. Something's got to give here today, and I think George Kirby's going to have a decent start. Now, Kirby enters this game with a 3.43 ERA and a 1.07 whip. His last start was not good. He gave up 6 earned runs versus the Tigers. We would know because we watched that start, and we had his earned runs under in that game. He laid some juice, and he hurt us. he owes us some coin here today. But let's talk about this one and why I'm willing to run it back. And I will note, if Kirby and the Mariners as a whole does not get it done today, I will not be on any Mariners props until maybe September. I just can't do it with the team. But you look at Kirby on the year, under 2.5 earned runs and 11 of 18 starts. He is 5-1 to the under 2.5 earned runs after giving up 3 or more. So rarely does you see him have back-to-back bad starts, which is kind of why we targeted a guy like Verlander yesterday. Rarely had back-to-back bad starts. He also has allowed only 4 earned runs, which he obviously did in his last start, and only 4 starts this year, 4 of 18. In the previous 3 starts where he gave up 4 earned runs, because the most recent was his most recent start, he went up out and gave up just 1, 0, and 0 earned runs. So obviously a guy that when he does not have a good start, obviously takes it to heart, goes home, fixes some things, and he comes back and plays and pitches pretty well. That's what we're asking out of him today, and I certainly think he can go out there and give us a good outing, and I expect him to bounce back. Now, back in May, you saw Kirby have a game at home, give up 7 earned runs versus the nice team of the Pirates, a team that really wasn't swinging the bats too well that day. The next start, he came out 8 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. I don't necessarily want him to go 8 innings pitched. We saw Verlander go 8 yesterday, and once you know, he hit his over in Ks, which we talked about on the channel. But similar to a guy like Verlander, let's look at Kirby's other K props and his outs props. I mean, K prop, very similar to a guy like Verlander, sitting at 6.5, about -112, -115 on the over. You look at him, only has 7 Ks and only 5 of 18 starts, going under 13 of 18. Would it surprise me people are on the under in this one? No. But at the end of the day, in those starts where he's gotten 7 Ks, he's under this earned runs prop in all 5 of those starts. So when he has the strikeout, the swings and the miss, he's doing well. You look at his outs prop, the over a 17.5 outs, aka 6+ innings pitched, just like -185, -200 on some books. Kirby, when he pitches 6 or more innings pitched, which he's done in 14 of 18 starts, he's under this earned runs prop in 11 of 14, and at home, perfect on this outs prop. The only time he's given up 3 earned runs and 36 innings pitched, all 3 were on the road. So look, at the end of the day, I know he's burned us once. He could burn us again today. The Mariners have been a team that have burned us a bunch, but I really like this one today. Very similar to Verlander yesterday. It was a no sweat bet for the most part. Hopefully Kirby can come out here and do his thing. He does throw a lot of strikes, but sometimes when you're throwing strikes, the teams might be more inclined to swing, and maybe that's when he can get those swings and misses, get ahead of the count, and hopefully he can get some outs, because he was unable to do that against the Tigers. So George Kirby gave a couple pivots. I think all the pivots hopefully should hit, assuming that George Kirby goes out there and goes under 2.5 earned runs. Obviously, we have errors on our side on the off chance that maybe there are some errors that cause some runs that maybe they aren't charged to Kirby, but I really think we got a good one here today. So we'll ride with George Kirby under 2.5 earned runs, and we're riding with the White Sox +0.5 in the first 5, 2 earliest starts. And then obviously we're going with Jake Berger and Willy Adames to hit a home run. Logan, any final thoughts before we sign out?
We got to be better. We know that. Austin and I know that. We will turn it around. I mean, it's tailor fade. Really, you make your own financial decisions. Hopefully we can hit the home run props again, and let's make some money today.
And I didn't say at the top when we talked about the home run props is that we will give another $100 if either one of them hits a home run to one person that's subscribed to the channel and comments down below. It was on the screen. I just did not note it. But Jake Berger, Willy Adames, we're your number 1 fans. White Sox, we're your number 1 fans. And Twins, just leave the Blats. Go home. You don't need to show up for this game. Let's have a great day. We will see you guys back on Friday for some more picks, some more dinger plays, because they've been a hit. And we'll see you guys then. Peace.